Greetings, friends. It's Reverend Ron here at Unity of Fairfax. Thanks for connecting with us today. Contemplative practice in various forms is a key element of our spiritual life here at Unity of Fairfax and within the broader Unity movement as well, going all the way back to our Unity co-founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore. And so I'd like to invite you into a moment of contemplative practice with a 5-step prayer process called the Examen. The Examen prayer was developed in the 16th century by St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Society of Jesus, or the Jesuits, a Roman Catholic religious community. Jesuits pray the Examen every day to reflect on the events of the day and to discern the activity of God in their lives. The traditional Examen prayer has been expanded to focus on a variety of themes, one more recent addition being emerging from COVID, which I share with you today from a New Thought perspective. And so I invite you to settle into a moment of stillness, bringing your attention to this now moment, as I begin with a reading from a book by Pope Francis entitled Let Us Dream, A Path to a Better Future, written in 2020 in response to the COVID crisis. Francis writes, I see this time as a reckoning. To enter into crisis is to be shifted. Your categories and ways of thinking get shaken up. Your priorities and lifestyles are challenged. The basic rules of a crisis is that you don't come out of it the same. If you get through it, you come out better or worse, but never the same. We are living in a time of trial. We are all tested in life. It's how we grow. In the trials of life, you reveal your own heart, how solid it is, how merciful, how big or small, you have to choose. And in making your choice, you reveal your heart. When people's hearts are tested, they become aware of what has held them down. Each of us will emerge from this pandemic differently, as we are all different people. This is a time of sifting, retaining what is good from the past, letting go of old habits and things that no longer serve us, taking from this time of trial new thoughts and ideas for ourselves and community. And so with this in mind, I invite you to join me in this Examen as we emerge from the pandemic and dream and discern together what life and community can look like in this post-COVID world. As I look forward, I see great possibility, and I invite you to know that with me. And so we begin with a deep centering breath, a dropping into your hearts, a connecting with that of God within, as I walk you through this 5-step prayer process. Step 1. With gratitude, we begin with an awareness of how God or the divine shows up in our lives. We are grateful for an awareness of that of God beyond all names, present and active in, through, and as us and our community in this moment, and as we have lovingly and creatively moved through and beyond this time of pandemic. We are grateful for each other, ministers, staff, and volunteers, and all who lovingly support this ministry. We are grateful for health and well-being of body, mind, and spirit. We are grateful for all medical and essential personnel who have worked tirelessly, some giving their very lives to help others. We are grateful for an awareness of the peace of God which passes all understanding, as we have confronted loss and grief. We are grateful for an awareness that those who have passed as a consequence of this pandemic are held in the light and love of God as they continue their soul's unfoldment in eternity. And for what else are you grateful? Add your own prayers of gratitude in a moment of silence. And I invite you to affirm with me, God is my all, I know no fear, for God and love and truth are here. Step 2, we shine the light of God on this time of pandemic, paying attention to your emotions. This seeking enlightenment is particularly important for many of us as the days, weeks, and months, and even years have all blended together. What events or stories or people stand out? Was there a particular book or prayer or sermon or webinar that spoke to you? Who or what has helped you to cope? Try not to get caught up in the best or worst moments. Remember, Jesus' story in the gospel is about how he lived in ordinary time, not just the passion. What stood out for you as we moved through the pandemic? And with that in mind, I invite you to affirm, God is my all, I know no fear, for God and love and truth are here. Step 3, pick one thing that stands out for you. It can be either something that gave you hope and consolation, or that caused you grief or sorrow, or something in between. If it's nothing, though, pray about it. Listen for Spirit's guidance. What is nudging you to pray? With this in mind, I invite you to affirm, God is my all, I know no fear, for God and love and truth are here. Step 4, reflect where Spirit is leading you as part of our community. If it is somewhere difficult, ask the Spirit to show what you are to learn. Are there blessings hidden behind the difficulty? Try not to relive or replay the things on which you are praying. Look at it with new eyes. And I invite you to affirm, God is my all, I know no fear, for God and love and truth are here. And step 5, before we bring this prayer to a close, discern, what is Spirit inviting you to take forward into the post-pandemic world? How are you being called to serve your community and the planet? What is your personal vocation? And with this in mind, I invite you to bring this time of prayer to a close with our unity prayer of truth. As the light of God we shine, as the love of God we embrace, as the power of God we stand in truth, as the presence of God we radiate love. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Blessings, friends, on this journey as we emerge from COVID.